Right, and we've heard that before. Forgive me, though, and I know you've been working hard on this, and I know you're a well-respected minister, but are you really somebody who can act in the national interest when, in recent years, both you and Keir Starmer wanted a second referendum which would be absolutely against the national interest because it would have betrayed a Brexit vote that was voted for by 17.4 million people in this country? And yet you and the Prime Minister campaigned against that democratic mandate time and time again. So do you really know what's in the national interest?
It's this Prime Minister that delivered the trade deals that those who advocated for Brexit in those years absolutely couldn't. So it was Boris Johnson who said that he would secure a trade deal with India by Diwali. He didn't say which Diwali, to be fair, but he completely failed to deliver it. It was numerous previous Conservative Prime Ministers after the Brexit vote who said they could deliver a trade deal with the United States, but didn't. So when we talk about the independent trade policy, the post-Brexit independent trade policy, the Prime Minister who has delivered the deal with India, huge advantage to Scotch whisky exporters. I was in Scotland hearing all about that on Monday. Or with the United States, that has literally saved jobs across our car manufacturing sector, including at Jaguar Land Rover. It wasn't the previous government or the previous Conservative Prime Ministers that delivered, it was this Prime Minister.
OK, but hang on a minute.
About this Prime Minister delivering. We've seen him actually do it, Camilla.
But you and the Prime Minister are Europhiles. We've got a situation now with what's being billed is correct, that you're going to go for dynamic alignment even though Eurocrats would have accepted mutual recognition. You're going to potentially get us into a situation where we need to provide troops for an EU army. That had been ruled out by the Brexit vote. We're going to be giving away some of our fishing rights, and we don't know what role the ECJ is going to take at this point, but the fear is that once again we're going to be rule takers and not rule makers. You've even got Red Wall Labour MPs saying this is a betrayal of Brexit.
It really isn't. It's about making Brexit work. And whether it's the Prime Minister, myself or the rest of the government, we've moved on from the debates of the past. And my sense going around the country is the country has as well. This is about a hard-headed assessment of what is in the UK interest in the mid-2020s, not the debates of 9, nearly 10 years ago for the referendum. And what we will be delivering, let's just take standards at the moment, because you've just raised the issue of standards. What we do is we go into negotiations to protect Britain's high standards. That's exactly what we did in the negotiations with the United States, where it makes sense to have common alignment on standards because it delivers jobs and growth for the British people. Of course, we take a pragmatic view, but to your point,
why not mutual recognition?
This idea of a European army that you've mentioned, absolutely not. What we are doing in terms of defence and security is taking into account we've had a return to war in Europe in 2022. Europe has to step up on defence. That's what this government is doing, investing 2.5% of GDP in defence by 2027. It is absolutely in our national interest to be working closely with European partners at a time when war has returned to our continent, but working very closely as well with the United States and using our special relationship with the United States, which is exactly what the Prime Minister has been doing so well, putting Britain back on the world stage.